It is Megatronus from the Transformers Adventures series. And he is kind of the Fallen. So, Megatronus, this is the Transformers Adventures one from Takara, which is basically robots in disguise. And Megatronus was the end big bad that Optimus was training to fight, and eventually Bumblebee and his team helped defeat. The Takara version is usually a little bit better, so I saw this, I was like, yeah, I want it, so I got it. So I'm gonna go through this, break it out of its pretty packaging here, and we'll have some fun. Maybe it's something you wanna get for your collection. I'm Captain Kyle. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. If you've been a long-time watcher or just even watching the past couple months, thanks for coming back. And it's adventure time. Be right back. So it's a very nice package, and you can see on the back here, nice profile, which I can't read. I even tried with Google Lens and it was kind of garbly-gook, but it talks about how you can scan stuff and all that. And this was from the 30th anniversary of Transformers, way back when, apparently. But let's get him out of this package and take a look at him in all his glory. So Megatronus is the fallen Prime that Megatron took his name from. And in Robots in Disguise, which I imagine is the same cartoon that they used for Transformers Adventures, he used his powers to reach across time and space and basically blackmail Steeljaw, who put together a troop of Decepticons, to get him out of his prison. So let's take a look at this guy. I think it's considered warrior class, not even necessarily deluxe, but he's still a neat looking guy. He comes with instructions in this nice little packet here, and I wonder if they have the equivalent of the shitty piece of paper. Let's take a look. So it does have a piece of paper here, which I can't read, but I think it's talking about the scanning thing. And they actually have a product catalog that shows all the really neat Robots in Disguise / Transformers Adventures figures. I see Strong Arm and Grimlock and Bumblebee and Steeljaw. All the guys are on here. There's even a Jazz, because he, visited in an episode. So pretty cool, a product catalog.
I haven't seen one of those in a very long time, from before the dark times, before Armada.
I think they had some product catalogs in the days of Beast Wars, I don't remember. And of course, instructions, which we may very well refer to, though he's not exactly too complicated. Now, before I get rid of this packaging, his weapon is on here, which is a sword of some type, a blade that attaches to his arm. I'm getting all this plastic shit on my table. And interestingly, the weapon attaches to the back of the arm, like so. So there's Megatronus in all his glory. Give him a nice spin on the turntable so you can see him from every side, and you can, if you need to scan it, go right ahead. Hopefully that's good enough resolution. So he's a pretty cool looking dude. You can see he's got red eyes. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but he does have red eyes, trust me. He's got the Decepticon symbol that is scannable right on his chest. He's got some nice deco on his chest, some nice blue deco on his arms. He just looks overall very cool. Now, for comparison, here's a picture of the US version. It's the same mold, but, the deco's a little bit different. Japan is usually better with the deco. More toy accurate or more show accurate. And you can see he's got these boosters on his ass, so he can, I guess, move quickly. But all right, let's check out some posability. So the legs, there's no ankle swivel of any kind, but Megatronus can do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. There he goes. And you can even balance him in that position. So that is kind of cool. He can kick forward very nicely. Back, he runs into his little jets, so kicking back is a problem, but he can do a nice side kick. Can he bend at the knee? Yes, he can. Even a little bit more than the standard, 90 degrees that some bots have. And he's got a spike here to cause immense pain to his foe. Now, does he twist at the waist? He twists, basically a little bit above the waist, but he does twist around. The arms can go all the way around, but they're like upwardly angled, which is interesting. So he doesn't go quite fully back. He's like slicing above him and then down. Bending at the elbow. Ooh, very ratcheting sound, but he does bend at the elbow. Oh, legs, by the way, swivel 100% around. Arm swivels, which is nice. The fingers here, it's an open hand. Looks like it can hold some stuff, but it doesn't twist or anything like that. But it does make a ratcheting noise when you bend his elbow. The head turns all the way around. Now, the bad part is on the back, you can see there's a lot of hollows. So he looks much better from the front. But overall, he's a pretty cool version of this Prime that is fallen. Haha, I am Megatronus. You will do my bidding or face my wrath. You can also move the shoulders back and forth a little bit. That's nice. And the arms can kind of go out to the side. With the weapon, it interferes with that, but you can normally do that without the weapon in. Now, if we take the weapon out of his hand, I am curious, you can put it in his arm, so his arm can go up like that, but you can put it in his hand rather, so that he can actually use it like a sword. And it's got some cool detailing on the blade there, so you can see the nice blue and purple stripes near the tip. So a very cool figure overall. I like him. All right, let's take out his weapon and put that aside. And let's take a look at his alt mode, because I'm not sure what you would call it. So looking at the instructions, they basically show transforming him from robot into his alt mode, and then from his alt mode into his robot mode. So I guess these were meant for kids. It's not like reverse instructions in order to put him back in robot mode. No, they show everything. But let's transform him. I don't know that he actually transformed in the show, but he does have an alt mode. Now it actually shows when transforming him that you can keep the weapon in place, so that's fine. So there he is in his Cybertronian evil tank mode. Now, one thing that they don't really show clearly in the instructions is that his legs that become the treads, there's a post here that plugs right in so the treads will stay. There are actually wheels on the bottom of the tread, so we'll do a roll test in a moment. And as some kind of tank, he can point in various directions, but he can't like go all the way around. He also has these two things which are like missile pods, missile launchers, so he can shoot a bunch of those out. And yeah, he's a pretty interesting looking Cybertronian tank. Roll test. Wow, he actually rolls pretty dang well. I'm kind of impressed. I like him. So he's got the blade, so his weapon storage is built into the vehicle mode. So this can shoot out some kind of laser or, you know, ionic blast of some kind. This he can just ram into people and impale them. Did he transform in the cartoon? I don't remember, but if he did, let me know. The treads look pretty cool. Obviously, like most treads in Transformers, they don't actually work, but you know, they've got wheels and they look pretty neat. And the transformation is pretty clever, I have to say. Now in his tank mode, from the tip of his blade to the end of his treads, that's about 7 inches. Now, I don't think I'm gonna need to refer back to the instructions in order to transform him back into his robot mode, because the transformation is pretty simple. So there he is back in his robot mode, and he stands, if you count his 80s style shoulder pads, almost 5.5 inches tall. So pretty neat. A figure from a pretty cool series. Robots in Disguise was kind of fun. Definitely kid oriented. Had some pretty whacked out Decepticons, but I like him. And of course, I'll put a link in the description. I'll put it both to the Takara and the US one if you prefer to get the US one, which is probably a little less expensive, but I don't think he's too expensive of a figure, considering his age. Yeah, you're old. But yeah, and while you are debating over this Megatronus, we actually have another Transformers Adventures figure who's being put up against the legacy version of the character. We have the versus with the new Strong Arm versus the Takara version of Strong Arm. So check that out there. And if you're enjoying this content, by all means, feel free to subscribe. And I would definitely like you to have fun and good hunting.